All right, so what is going on, everyone? Today we're gonna be talking about, by the way, I just want to say this real quick. This is my opinion, right? I just don't take it too serious. It is my opinion, and if you disagree, you can always disagree, right? You can always talk in the comments. Let me know what you guys think, and I will read your comment. I'll like it. I'll talk to you about it, and maybe I'll give my points to it. But this is my opinion, all right? So the characters you see here, the CN characters, we're not gonna include because they're not out, right? And we are on global. At least I am. So we're only going to be talking about the characters in the bottom and of course Frigg and Nemesis. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. Okay, so I know, alright, I know not everyone has every character in the game, okay? So I'm gonna name a couple of teams, and I'm also gonna name some alternatives for characters you can use in those teams, because I do have everyone except for Claudia, but I'm gonna give some alternatives as well, also some SR characters you can use. But yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so for the first team, of course, as you guys know, this is the team literally everyone runs. Like this is the best team in the game, still in my opinion, as I said in my previous videos as well. As you guys can see, I have a lot of stars on my characters, right? So of course my team will do better than a team of this with these weapons that have 0 stars, but this is still the best team in the game for now, unless of course there's fire 50% down and there's volt 50% down. But if nothing is down, if no elements are 50% damage down, then this is definitely the best team. So you have King, the best shadow weapon in the game. You have Nemesis, who is an overall healer. She can do damage. She will activate the elemental resonance with volt, of course, because you have 2 volt weapons. It is currently, now there's 2 weapons out right now that have the elemental resonance. Claudia got that as well, and Frigg, no, 3 actually. And of course Samir is the best, still the best DPS weapon in the game. It will do the most damage, and I have her on 6 stars, so my Samir is actually crazy. But even at 0 stars, I'm gonna be honest, she is still really good. Like all of these characters at 0 stars are good, all of them. You don't need stars to really, like, you do need stars to really go to the next level, but I'm gonna be honest, this team is just incredible, right? So some alternatives you can do, let's say you need a healer but you don't have Nemesis. I would just switch out Nemesis with Pepper. Like Pepper is always gonna be a good alternative. You're not gonna have the volt resonance. You're still gonna have 2 volt weapons, but you'll just have a healer. Hopefully you'll have the stars. If you open some packs, you'll eventually get her to 6 stars, but she will be a good option. She's also a charged weapon, so you have 2 charged weapons. You'll get your ult really fast as well, and that will be one of the good alternatives to use. You can also like use Crow. You can pretty much use anyone as a third one, but I would really recommend, you can also use Zero. Like you wouldn't want one healer in your team, right? If you have 0 at 1 star, you can use him as a healer, but if you don't, you can pretty much use anyone. Like it doesn't really matter. You might want to use another charge weapon to get your ults faster for your King and your Samir, but that doesn't really matter. Let's get on to the next one. So this is my personal ice team right now because I'm not trying to level too many weapons up right now. So I'm using Frigg, Nemesis, and Meryl. I'm always using Nemesis because Nemesis is just the best all-around character in the game, right? She can heal you, do damage, you can keep people at a distance, all that good stuff, right? You can slow people, you can do a lot of damage, and my team is also balanced. So I'm using, obviously you have to use 1 shadow weapon, 1 charge weapon, and 1 healing weapon, right? So Frigg is not really a charge weapon, but when you do her ability and you just do your you just spam the dash left click, like trust me, you're gonna get your ults really fast. And I always do my ults with either Nemesis or Meryl, of course. So some alternatives, what other people have been running, you can also run like Tsubasa. If you're that good to where you can dodge everything and stuff, you can run Tsubasa. Because with Tsubasa, you do a lot of extra damage as well. If you have the stars, you'll do more, of course, but I've seen a lot of people do a lot of damage with Tsubasa. You can, if you don't have Frigg, by the way, you can also use Tsubasa instead of Nemesis. Other options are, of course, if you want a ice healer, you can always use Coco if you have her. And if you don't have Coco as the other options, you can always use, I would just use Pepper. I would use Pepper. If you don't have Meryl and you still want to use an ice team and you want to shatter, you can always use this weapon, which I wouldn't recommend. You might as well just use like anyone else, any SSR that has shatter, but those are some alternatives that you can run. Let's get on to the next team. Okay, so for this next team, I don't actually have Claudia, but I would put Claudia right here. I don't have her, so I can put her in the team, but it's like an alternative because you'll have the Volt Resonance. I would just use 𝙀𝙓, I would use Nemesis, and I would use Samir, because let's say you want to use 𝙀𝙓, she's going to be your shatter weapon, right? And you'll have the Volt Resonance with these two weapons. You can pretty much mix 𝙀𝙓 with anyone. You can also use, right, you can use Frigg together with like Tsubasa. That would also be a good team. You won't have a healer, but this is also, you'll have the ice resonance, right, because of Frigg. I wouldn't recommend using another shatter weapon. I wouldn't really not recommend that. But you can also, like, instead of, you don't have to have Samir, or you don't have to, like, if you have Nemesis, right, you can also use any other Volt weapon pretty much to activate the resonance. So you can also use Crow, and you can use Nemesis. Right, Nemesis is just, she fits in every team. Like, Nemesis, if you have her, you can pretty much use her in any team. You don't have to, right? But yeah. So I'm not trying to say that you have, because you don't have to have Nemesis, but it is just really good to use her in every team if you do have her. You can also use Pepper as a healer, and you can pretty much use anyone as a second one. Just, I wouldn't recommend using a shatter weapon. I guess for the first team as well, you can also use 𝙀𝙓, right? Because 𝙀𝙓 is like a charge and she's a shatter. So you can use 𝙀𝙓 and King together. You can also, instead of, I guess, King, you can use 𝙀𝙓, and then you can still have the same team, but you're just placing King with 𝙀𝙓, because 𝙀𝙓 is pretty good at shattering and she will pretty much do the same thing. You can use any shatter weapon, by the way. You can, yeah, as we're gonna switch again, you're gonna get to the same team with 𝙀𝙓. You can use 𝙀𝙓, you can use Meryl. I've seen a lot of people mix the best, like, teams around, right? Like the best characters. It's really easy to mix these characters. And the reason I'm not really putting 0 in any of these teams, because I'm be honest, I don't really use him, and I have him at 1 star so I can have him as a healer, right? But you pretty much need to have him at 1 star for him to become a healer, so that's why I'm not really putting him in. All these other characters are really good without stars. And by the way, in all the other teams, you can use 𝙀𝙓 as well as a healer. 𝙀𝙓's a good healer, and she will heal you for a lot. Trust me, when you do her ult, when you do her ability. But yeah, that will pretty much be it. Those are the teams that I would recommend you guys use. Let me know, you guys are probably using some different teams or have some advice for me. But anyways, if you're new, be sure to like, sub, of course, and yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think about it. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one.